Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Thanks so much for joining me for another How to Kill a Kit with Style video. This is a pocket page video or a Project Life page video, and I'm starting here with this pocket page, 3 horizontal 6x4s and some 3x4s opposite. And I've taken a tip here from Inky Quill and thanks Adele, and started to print my photos and put them in the Pocket Life pages and then stick them in my album in chronological order, and it has simplified things a little bit for me. I do so far like that way of doing things, and I also like that I can kind of skip ahead or skip backwards and not get out of order or forget which pocket page I'm supposed to be using and all of those good things. So this is my August 2019 kit. It is full of Maggie Holmes, especially the Carousel collection. And so I filmed a process video. It should be up on my channel, or if it's not already, coming soon, using one of those kind of more iconic carousel pages, papers in the collection where there are actually tents and carousel horses and things. And so this is the pocket page that's going to go opposite that. And I will show in my flip through at the end of the month, my layout share at the end of the month, how they all fit into my album. But I was just taking there a piece of paper that I had cut from the 6x8 pad. I had cut it to 3x4. And what I'm noticing here is that the tricky thing about this cut apart sheet is that the designs here are not all 3x4 or 4x6 or any standard size. In fact, they kind of are a little all over the place in measurements. And so I wasn't really sure how to cut them to fit into my pockets. And so I ended up just taking a piece that I knew based on what my trimmer said that it was 3x4 and using that to determine my size. So I'm going to use a couple of these. I'm using this and again, see, look, they're a little bit longer there than the 3x4. It's really strange. I don't know why they're so strangely shaped in this paper pad, but I guess the goal here was not to make 3x4 cards. It was just simply to get all these designs on one paper. So now I think I have all of my pocket cards cut, and I just pulled out a few things from my kit and put them over there to the right on my trimmer that I wanted to use, and then I put the rest of the papers away. So now I'm working on kind of just figuring out where my photos are going to go. This here is an envelope. It's a 4x6 envelope from the Maggie Holmes Carousel collection, and I'm cutting it apart because, well, stupid me, I didn't realize that I could just pop out that acetate. But basically the idea here is that I didn't want that clear acetate in, and I'm not really sure why I cut the whole thing apart to get it out, but you know, I did. I was filming this late at night, and that might actually factor into some of what happens in this video. Just saying. So looking for something here to kind of mat that photo and fill in some space. Decided I didn't like the green on green, so I'm trying to get a different color in there, and I'm going to go with this yellow polka dot. So all of these pictures are from a day that the kids and I went to a couple of years ago, because of course I'm still a couple of years behind in my Project Life album. But that's okay. It's okay. So this was like an expo or a power and light show, I guess is what it's called. And it was kind of a Pioneer Days almost. There's a picture there of the kids log pulling. This picture that's in my hand right now is of them kind of getting a shortened experience in a one-room schoolhouse. And then there's a layout that I did also in this album that will come up in my flip through, where they are making butter by shaking it in mason jars. So just a lot of like historical type things, learning activities, experiences for them. And we had a really fun day. And so this whole pocket page, I don't think I have any pictures on this page that actually are not from that day. So I don't really think, this was kind of the stage where my baby was due in well, she ended up being born about a month after this day. And I was just very pregnant and very tired. And so in these days, we just weren't really going too many places. And so I did fill this entire week's pocket page with pictures of one day. But that's okay. So now I'm using some little tile stickers from American Crafts to put a little subtitle on that page. And I'm just looking for a little sticker or something to kind of finish it off. I'm going to go with a couple of these gold stars. When I work on pocket pages, I tend to bounce around a lot. Sometimes if one particular card is coming together well, I will kind of see it all the way through. But I also tend to do a lot of bouncing around because I'll kind of get a little spark of an idea for one card, and so I'll do something with it, and then maybe another spark of an idea for a different card, and I'll bounce around and do them that way. Here I am going through the Carousel Ephemera pack to see if there's anything here that I want to use. Most of what I'm putting on in this stage does not stay, although that ticket, that number 8 ticket, and that camera, I believe both do end up staying. That right there is a little circle. It is like the inside of a die cut from my Silhouette, kind of one of those leftover pieces when you pull the cut file off of the mat. And it just happened to fit right inside that ribbon, and I didn't really want that bunny on the ribbon. That's where I am planning to put my date. And so I just stuck it there. It kind of fits pretty well, and it covers up that bunny. I don't really understand that bunny, but I thought that like a word ribbon there would be a cute place to put my date. So that's what I'm planning. Now I am using a stamp. This is from the Chamel Go Now Go collection, I believe, and just stamping on that 3x4 card there to do some journaling. It does end up not quite in the middle of the card, but yeah, whatever. Just gonna go with it. It's kind of bugs me for a little while, and then I end up putting some embellishments on the side to balance it out, and then after that it was okay. So I'm going to go through now and glue all my photos down. Usually as soon as I kind of have a sense of this is where they're going to stay in terms of this is the order and the placement, I like to go ahead and get them stuck down when they're on Project Life cards. I don't know why that is, because on 12x12 layouts I really don't stick anything down until the very end, but in this case something about those Project Life cards and the way they have a tendency to move around, I think, is what kind of makes me want to get everything stuck down. I'm going through my album here. My daughter scribbled there on the inside cover. She is into writing on everything. She's 2, and I was looking to see what the date of this week was so that I could put that there on the ribbon, and then I realized that the back side of this Project Life page is already complete, so I just pulled that out and flipped it over to see the date, because, sometimes it's nice to do things the easy way. I don't know why I did think of that. I felt kind of dumb when I was like looking for a date and then realized it was right there the whole time. But such is life, right? So this right here, these are liquid pearls. They're from Ranger. This is a color called Juniper, and I'm just putting a couple dots on there, sort of like enamel dots, and then I move that card out of my way because I am notorious for putting my hand in those little paint dots before they're fully dry. So yeah, that sheet that I keep referring to there with all those little labels on it, that is a sheet from the Maggie Holmes Carousel collection. I love it. I had about 3 sheets of it, and I have cut it apart, and I've used it and used it and used it and used it. It's probably one of the best, most used sheets of paper I've ever had, and I was very sad when I got the paper pad and that particular sheet wasn't in there. And it actually has a cute pattern on the back, and I used part of the pattern on the back, and it was almost painful because I had to sacrifice some of the labels to do it. So I really wish that had been on a one-sided print in the paper pad, but unfortunately they didn't ask me, so it was not. Here I am back at the ephemera pack again. I'm just feeling like this page was missing some detail that I wanted it to have, and so I just kept going back and looking for more things. This is a black and white washi tape. And I put that on there because in that picture, my children are log pulling. And that picture to me is kind of the least eye-catching, I guess, but it's one of the coolest pictures if you really look at it. And so I thought that black and white stripe would kind of draw your attention to it. Plus, I'm really trying to be good about using more washi, so that was definitely a factor as well. So this is another card from that carousel paper. And there we go. Now I'm happy with that. I'm getting ready to stick that down. These are puffy stickers from the Bloom collection, I think. Nope, they're from Chasing Dreams. It says Chasing Dreams right on there. And you'll see I keep trying to use these puffy stickers, and I don't think a single one of the darn things makes it on the spread because they just, for some reason, they weren't working. So I'm just kind of here trying to layer things up. I find that I'm much happier with my Project Life pages when I include layers, and I think that that's because to me they feel more like my 12 by 12 pages. Oh, wait. Did that one actually stay on there? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I keep trying to put that little yellow bow on there because I think it's cute, but I'm pretty sure in the end it doesn't end up on there. We'll see the close-ups here in a minute. But I find that I'm happier with my 12 by 12, with my pocket pages when I use more layers and more fine details, because that's how I tend to scrapbook in my 12 by 12s. And so I think that just makes them feel more like me. Like, one of my struggles with my Project Life pages is that I'm not a very good journaler, and I am not good at using multiple photos most of the time. And those are exactly the things that I'm trying to do more in my Project Life album. And so when I do one and I don't do layering and tucking and using little bits and bobs and adding those details, I have a tendency to feel like those pages don't really reflect my style. And so, I've been doing a little self-analysis to try and figure out how to make myself enjoy Project Life a little bit more and how to make Project Life pages that I enjoy sharing. And that's kind of what I figured out, is that I just have to go ahead and take the time to do more layering and more details, because that's really, for me, is kind of the make it or break it factor. So we're almost done here. I'm adding a couple more labels so that I can put in some more journaling. And you'll see in the photos, I end up adding the journaling off camera, but it is there when I took the close-up photos. So you'll get to see that here in just a second. Those glitter stars and hearts and clouds are from the Curtsy Boutique. It's an Etsy shop that I don't think is actually open anymore. I was on their design team for several years, and they had just really great basics, like stars and hearts and things that you can never have too much of, right? So here are the close-ups. I didn't really add anything else except the journaling, I don't think. Oh, look, there is one of those puffy stickers on there after all. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.